young man responded to a YouTube video I had made. He asked where he could buy my book, that he had tried Amazon, etc., and couldn't find it. I don't know that I made it clear on most of the videos, but what happened with the book, about the book. I do appreciate his interest in enough to try to look for it and to make the comment back to me. I really do appreciate it. Very few have responded, some very negative in what I've written, and it's all been the truth. There's no way you could make it up. The fact that it's been covered up and the media doesn't touch it should tell you something. I'm just going to say this in response to the young man's question about my book, where could he find it? I wrote the book in '76, and April Fool Day of '80, I had antifreeze put in me, and I should have died. It was a living hell, and the things that went on there, that doctor suits against, and criminal charges against doctors, hospitals, should have been done, none of it. I was illegally transported across the state line to Huntsville, Alabama, back there, and of all things, I passed a background check by the Sheriff Patterson, and as a requirement to work for the District Attorney, Madison County District Attorney Fred Simpson. I lived at Warren House Apartments, and this is a prelude to finding out who my family is cryptic, and about my kidnapping. I found out in '83. My father's Edward VIII. He was illegally taken down with his own brother, the Illuminati. Joe Kennedy was ambassador, and I put all these pictures up there in the past. My father never married Wallace Simpson. He married Georgia O'Keeffe's sister, Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe, from Madison, Wisconsin, a school teacher. And I wrote the book about mind control. And it encompassed modifying behavior of persons not knowing that they were under mind control. Back then it was taught at a low level frequency by the people didn't even know they were getting it, and it was the Morse code, so you're a puppet. But the point that I was making there, and there were lists of it, that it goes back to the Testla files that were stolen and who stole them back in '30, I believe. Part of it is modifying behavior, a person's behavior. You can make them good boy, bad boy. That's not really their character, not really their thought patterns or anything. Also, that it can create, with mind control, you can cure illnesses or create them. So you see, I had worked for doctors and Urban Medical Hospital there. Now it's a research, urban research. And therein is, I'm going to skip things. Larry Flint was shot, let me say that, when I was doing the book in Marietta, and the person was programmed to shoot him. He even speaks about Larry McDonald. He was a congressman doctor, being a part of it. But it was the programming. And later, when Larry McDonald, congressman doctor's plane was shot down, on August 31st of '83, Mr. Flint flew me out to his home in Bel Air twice and helped me in the campaign, and then I never saw him again. He did furnish me a car because everything I had been obliviated, if never before. I mean, my life has been, if you could walk through a trail of life and had laws broken every step of the way, really, and no one's been held accountable, and I thought it was because of the book at first. And I blame myself if I'd just forgotten doing the book or any of that. Well, that's not it. I found out my real name, and I'm Victoria II, heir to the British Crown. I'm 76 years old, and it's been horrific. What I wanted to get back to, though, was, by the way, I'll show this real quick. The family, I was brought over here, Moulton, Alabama, and given the name of a twin, and I'm just going to show this briefly. This is Carl. He was a twin, and he was dead. They killed him. The family covered it up. This whole thing has been about, I can't get an attorney. It's who I am. and the fact that Elizabeth is in power. She's illegal, and so's my Uncle George the Sixth. Helped take my father down illegally and helped kidnap me, get him access to me, and put me here in this pigsty. This is a glossed over picture, 1943. I just got this. Someone sent it to me. This is her, mother of the twins. She killed them, and the family covered it up. This is me. They had to bring in tripod camera from Huntsville or Decatur. This was really like Beverly Hillbillies, all right? The torture that happened there is unreal. This is just a picture of me later. What I wanted to get to on here, though, was the deaths that appear are made to appear of natural cause. A reporter, FBI agent, and I had lists of deaths like this. Jean, what was her name? Saylor. Bonnie Saylor was one lady that came to me when I worked for the DA's office, and she said, "Can you help me since you work for him?" And I thought, lady, you do not know what's just happened to me. But she went and ahead and told me that her husband and two others that were top security at NASA or Redstone Arsenal, which is huge there, Army base, Ballistic Command Center in Huntsville, they were ready to retire, and they had been put top secret clearances, which really means nothing. I mean, biggest crooks go and get them. But anyway, she said that they'd been put under investigation, and this is what has been going on. You put someone under investigation, and everyone has something to hide. Now, what agency can do that? And it's you, the people, who have allowed it to happen. As I sit here, every step of the way, you allowed it to happen. Okay, Miss Saylor said that nobody would help her. She had gone to everybody, and she heard about me and came to me. Her husband, she went home and she found him after they were put under investigation, their lab, found him with a rifle, I believe is how she described it. He was in the bathtub. They lived in a trailer, and he had blown his head off, or I really don't remember the details now. I do remember that part. The other guy had run his car into the Tennessee River and drowned, and the other one had died of a rare cancer. So this is, I've just told you, they use mind control. They can make you do anything, commit suicide, or appear to, like Robin Williams. There's lists of it, or sudden cancer, or other illnesses. They can create it and cure it. Now, as far as the book this young man asked about, I had the antifreeze put in me. I had a letter from the FBI, June the 23rd of 79. Antifreeze was put in me April Fool Day of 80. And this is like a joke that's been ongoing, that they could kidnap the monarch, bring me over here, and do these crimes to me, and nothing ever be prosecuted throughout any of this time. Nobody has been held responsible. Not the woman that killed her twins, not any of the doctors. What I was going to say here about the book this young man asked about, well, I couldn't. After then, I never had the chance. I was totally without funds, a place to even live. I lived on the Appalachian Trail up here near Roanoke after 86, starving, frozen. Believe me, everybody knows about it. And nobody doubts that that's the problem. Anyway, the book, as bad as I had it, one copy of it, and plus a certificate I had that was a little money in it, was in a bank there across from the hospital, so I can't, Urban Medical in Marietta, so it's still the bank, I guess, is still there. The thing is, I had a safety deposit there, and I went back there. It had been removed. The book was removed. And the letter, I had managed to always pay the box rent. So it was not ever late. I managed to keep that. But I was sent a letter that it was removed for, quote, listen to this, safekeeping. So I don't know where the book is. I was never able to get it published, and I don't know if there's a copy left or not. But I do know this. I went with a U.S. Marshal, Carnrine, who I had known before the antifreeze was put in me and all that. And I went to him to the